This webinar is being organized to develop an insight into the requisites for qualifying UGC NET in forensic sciences. I'll be expressing my views and thoughts on one of the premier competitive examinations of India, that is UGC NET or National Eligibility Test. This is organized for fulfillment of eligibility for assistant professor and junior research fellowship. Every year, thousands of students from all over India compete for very few seats of this examination. Even in the case of forensic science, the number is increasing day by day. Though it is a relatively new field, but the number of students who are taking part in this examination have been increasing. So it gets really important to be accustomed with the right preparation paradigm in order to secure a slot for this examination. And moreover, the preparation has to be such that the results are obtained in minimum possible time. And one of the most important points for this task is moving through right direction or right path. Because whenever the preparation is done in a right direction, the ultimate results are acquired in due time. And the worth of qualifying the examination is in initial attempt is more than anything. You can qualify the examination without any right preparation paradigm, but the amount of time and unnecessary labor that you invest into it would not be worth of the accomplishment. So, right direction or recognizing the right path is important while preparing for NET. So, moving ahead with this, I'll discuss about basics of UGC NET. That is, why exactly is UGC NET organized twice a year, or what exactly is UGC NET? UGC NET or National Eligibility Test is a national level competitive examination organized on behalf of UGC or University Grants Commission for determining the eligibility for assistant professor only or junior research fellowship along with assistant professor in Indian universities. These mentioned eligibilities are decided on the basis of performance in the examination. The overall result is prepared in accordance with the preparation of candidates in the examination, and separate merit list of top 6% is prepared for dissemination of junior research fellowship or JRF. Those who qualify for assistant professor are bound by rules and regulation of UGC for the recruitment in Indian universities as assistant professors along with other qualifications. Now, NET is the essential requirement for recruitment of assistant professor. Those who qualify for junior research fellowship are awarded with a monthly fellowship of 31,000 for carrying out the intended research work. Moreover, most of the premier institutes in India now acknowledge the JRF or the demand for JRF as being the essential requirement for admission in doctoral programs. And these reasons make this examination even more important for qualification. And for qualifying this examination, the preparation has to be unbeatable. Now, there is a paradigm for preparation, or you can say there is a pattern for preparation. And first of all, while we are preparing for any of the competitive examination and basically the UGC NET, you have to be sure of why is it important to qualify this examination, or what is the intention behind this preparation. The purpose for this exam is different for everybody who is there sitting for the examination. Like for the ones who have already done their PhD or in the course of their PhD, For them, the qualifying examination is limited to the eligibility for assistant professor only. They are required to obtain a minimum number of marks that could be accustomed with, or that could circumstance with the eligibility required for their recruitment. But for those who are opting for, or who are desiring for their admission in doctoral programs, for them, getting a high merit is more important than just qualifying the examination. That is a JRF. Because nowadays, most of the institutes that are of reputation, or high reputed institutes like CDRI or IITR or any of the premier institutes, the demand for JRF is the most essential qualification. So, this once the purpose has to be clear before starting the preparation, and once it is clear, the right motivation comes in. And this motivation boosts, sparks, or blasts within oneself that helps to proceed in the right direction. The first step in this procedure is moving ahead in the right direction, as I've already discussed. The next is clarity of the examination pattern. Once you have been recognized the right direction, your direction is identified, the right procedure has to be clear. And for this, the most important is clarity of exam pattern. Once we are accustomed with the exact pattern of the examination, the preparation would be in line with it. As depicted in this picture, the examination pattern of UGC NET is bifurcated into two parts, that is paper 1 and paper 2. Both of them are organized on an online mode, and paper 1 is common for all the subjects that are covered in UGC NET. The questions in this section would be generic in nature, intending to access the teaching and research aptitude of candidates. It would contain questions that would be testing your reasoning ability, your comprehension, diverging thinking, and journal awareness in total. It would comprise of a total of 50 MCQs of 2 marks each, and the overall duration for this paper is 1 hour as per the updated pattern. Now, paper 2 is a subject specific. As UGC NET is conducted in a total of 91 subjects, paper 2 is specific to each subject with the question paper of that particular domains. Now, the question paper, as in our case, would be dealing with the forensic science question. It would contain all the questions that would highlight the various domains of forensic science. It would be comprising of 100 questions of 2 marks each, and the duration would be 2 hours. Earlier, there were 3 papers in total, paper 1, paper 2, and paper 3, and there were a gap between these papers. Now, as per the updated pattern, that has been merged into 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2, and there is no time gap between these. It is conducted in a continuous 3-hour slot, and there is no negative marking for any of this. So it's a plus point that you can attempt all the questions. Next is the clarity of subject matter. Now, clarity of subject matter deals with whether it is paper 1 or paper 2. It is of utmost importance that the candidate is well versed with the syllabus content. Because if there is no clarity in the subject, as in what exactly would be there in the question paper, or what sort of questions would be covered from which part of the syllabus, then there is no point in moving ahead with the preparation. As you can see in an outline, the syllabus of UGC NET for forensic science is very elusive. It is vast and it encompasses almost all dimensions of forensic science, be it general forensic or any of the specialized field of forensic science. Each and every unit of syllabus must be clear and thorough while you are in the process of preparing. And yeah, first of all, each of you must have a printout of the syllabus with you for the entire span of preparation, so that we are accustomed with how much we have covered with it and what sort of things are left that has to be covered in the intended time. Okay, let's have a look at this content of syllabus. In the first instant, you would get intimidated by the amount of subject or the amount of questions that is contains. But it may also look as if everything from the entire 2 year master syllabus are included. It is true, but don't get intimidated by the length and inclusivity of the syllabus. With right plan and right guidance, you can get through the examination in intended amount of time and in initial attempts as well. I'll discuss the units of forensic science paper 2 in detail. Now, the first unit covers general forensic science, forensic jurisprudence, and forensic psychology. This is the introductory unit and it will highlight the journal's forensic aspects like investigation techniques or like physical evidences, etc. Forensic jurisprudence is a specialized field of forensic law wherein all the relevant IPC or CR criminal procedure code or all those laws that are relevant in forensic investigations that are dealt. Next is in forensic psychology. When we talk of forensic psychology, it is a specialized field wherein the principles of psychology and the investigation techniques are used for the forensic investigation. Next unit is forensic instrumentation. Forensic instrumentation is a part of chemical sciences or it is chemistry. It deals with all the criminal investigation or instrumental techniques that would aid in investigation or forensic investigation. It could start from like the basic instruments of like microscopes to a very complicated techniques like GCMS or HPLC. Next is Unit 3, which is forensic serology, DNA fingerprinting, and wildlife forensic. Forensic serology is an advanced field of forensic which deals with the investigation and quantification of all the body fluids that are dealt as an evidence in forensic sciences, like blood or urine or semen, etc. DNA fingerprinting is yet another technique that would aid in forensic investigations for determining the source of the evidence by where it came from or the paternal sources or the line of the paternity. That is all dealt with the DNA fingerprinting. And wildlife forensic is yet a new inclusion into the syllabus of forensic sciences net, and it deals with the forensic investigation that are relevant to wildlife. Next, unit 4 is forensic toxicology. This is a very important among the very important units of UGC net syllabus, and it deals with all the techniques or all the instrumental procedures that would be utilized in forensic investigation of evidences that are pertaining to poison or drug or any of the foreign toxicants that incorporate in the diseased body. Next is forensic ballistics. Forensic ballistics is this science of forensic field that deals with the foreign evidences pertaining to firearms in investigations. It is also an important part of the syllabus and it has to be dealt in detail. Unit 6 is forensic explosive and forensic photography. Forensic explosive deals with the explosive substances, be it a small improvised devices or the complex bombs and other explosives. And the next is forensic photography. Forensic photography is a you can encounter two to three questions from forensic photography in the forensic science question paper, and this is a really important topic. Next is Unit 7. It deals with forensic biology, forensic physics, cyber forensic, and mobile forensic. This is inclusive of all the physical evidences. Forensic physics basically deals with the physical evidences like glass or paint and etc. Cyber forensic deals with the investigations utilizing all the digital evidences basically. So this is also an important unit that has to be covered in due time. Next is fingerprint examination, biometric analysis, and voice analysis. Fingerprint examination comprises all those techniques or the principles or the examination procedures that would be utilized for fingerprint evidences at the crime scene. Next is forensic document and handwriting analysis. This is yet another elusive topic of the UGC NET syllabus, which deals with the examination of document evidence and handwriting analysis. And last but not the least, the next is forensic medicine, forensic anthropology, and forensic entomology. This is a really wide unit in the syllabus of UGC NET, and it comprises of all the topics like time since death, or forensic psychiatry is also included in this, and forensic anthropology, which is a basic topic from the UGC syllabus, and you can get at least 5 to 6 questions from this forensic anthropology alone. So this is like the contents of syllabus are huge, and the exact bifurcation has to be done for entire syllabus in respect to its weightage. The content has to be covered, but importance has to be given to that unit whose weightage is comparatively higher, like forensic toxicology, forensic medicine, forensic ballistics, and serology, along with forensic documentation. It covers entirely 50% of the entire question paper. So these units must be dealt in detail, while others like forensic psychology and forensic physics should be dealt next in line. You should know how to try, you should know and try to cover the entire syllabus topic wise. But not everything has to be dealt in detail. Like the bifurcation for the syllabus has to be done in terms of weightage, and then we should proceed further in terms of your difficulties or your strengths and weaknesses, and a proper plan has to be designed in order to cover the entire syllabus. Now, the final stage for preparation is planning a proper strategy. Once we are thorough with the contents of syllabus, we move ahead and prepare a working plan for our preparation. But why is there any need for planning, or why are we supposed to strategize? This is because planning and strategizing helps to accomplish tasks and achieve success in required amount of time with utilizing adequate amount of labor. Whenever we are preparing for UGC NET, we have three basic requirements for strategizing. First one is we have a huge elusive syllabus, and time for preparation is very limited. And if we invest an entire time and energy for preparing without any proper plan or strategy, we may miss out on some points, and we can give importance to while others. And this way the content of syllabus are left out. We cannot afford to lose an attempt. Second most important thing. Since losing an attempt means wasting an entire time of 1 year, the candidate are supposed to differ from losing any attempt. And this loss of single attempt tends to pull your career back to 1 year gap. And last is that we have to work smart, and in order to qualify this exam, the candidate is supposed to know the correct strategy for moving ahead and achieving the desired result in using less energy or efficient amount of energy. So these three requirements makes it necessary to strategize and plan before preparing for any exam. For preparing correct strategy or the proper plan, we are supposed to follow a set procedure. First is identification for content of study. That is, as discussed, the contents of the entire syllabus must be bifurcated. It has to be sorted in accordance with the weightage and inclusivity, and further, a plan has to be devised in order to move forward. Second is calculating number of days available for preparation. This is an important step as the number of days are collaborated accordingly with the amount of syllabus that has to be covered. A proper timetable has to be maintained, which should cover the days for covering syllabus, on days for revision, and for solving question papers. This has to be done accordingly, so that each and everything has to be covered in a limited time period, because you have a time period of like 6 months, and in that suppose 6 months you have to devise your syllabus accordingly, that you prepare your syllabus in a due time. Along with it, you are left with some time for revision, and last 10 to 15 days, or I could say 20 days, has to be left out for solving question papers only. This would help you to get through with the theoretical aspect of what you have already learned. You will be accustomed with the type of question that you can encounter in the question paper, and you will be more thorough with the theoretical part. Now, next would be calculating number of days. Okay. Next is preparing schedule or timetable. This is done so that the preparation could be continued in a smooth flow and manner. Timetable must be prepared at the start of the planning, and it has to be prepared in accordance with the one's availability of time, and it should cover all the aspects of your preparation. It should be self-contained so that in a limited time all the requirements of preparation are met. And last is identifying strength and weaknesses. This is the most crucial part while you are preparing. You should know your strength and weaknesses pertaining to the syllabus of NET. As in, the strength includes unit wherein you need to put less efforts as you are already well aware with that content. But your weaknesses include those units where you have little or no knowledge, or which you find difficult. These are supposed to be given greater amount of time and attention. Again, all you need to do is identify what units are your strength, what are your weakness. Accordingly, you plan out a timetable, and while you are planning ahead, you are moving ahead in your plan, you counteract those flaws which are hurdles. By focusing on all of these points, you can prepare an effective strategy and a working plan for success in examination. Next to focus is utilization of literary contribution. Now, what exactly are literary contributions? These include all the literary sources that are available for study in any relevant field or subject. It may include books, journals, editorials, research papers, sample question papers, blogs, videos, etc. Anything or everything that enhances your knowledge in a particular field of study is said as literary sources. And while we are preparing for the competitive exams, we must be well aware of how to utilize these sources for maximum benefit. Like if we consider book as a source, we have a plethora of subject related matter available for reference. But you need to have a clear understanding of what to study. Always refer standard books for your preparation. Don't try to purchase or an entire library or make a collection of books. Instead, go for some standard books that cover all the requirements for the exam, like in case of forensic sciences, Saperstein or B.R. Sharma, or in case of forensic toxicology, Modi would do suffice, or the Reddy would be enough. Next, along with this, the most important is going through the previous year question papers. They are a great source of knowledge. All you have to do is read them thoroughly, analyze the pattern that has been followed during the course of the time. Once you have analyzed the pattern, you can adapt that pattern in your study plan. Apart from this, you try to correlate the questions from previous year with their counterparts in the syllabus. This means that the counterparts or the different sort of questions that are encountered in the paper and their additional questions that are dealt in the syllabus, that has to be utilized, and you have to adopt that pattern in the study plan. And this helps to enhance your vision for the variety of questions that you can encounter. In this way, literary contributions could be utilized with utmost precision. Now, you have got a book sources, variety of books, but you need to know what you are supposed to read and what you have to left out. Like if you are talking about forensic ballistics or forensic toxicology, there are a number of books and there is a number of reference material available for this. But in a 100-page chapter for a particular topic, you're not supposed to go through each and every line. All you have to do is analyze the number of the questions or the part of the question paper that has been covered most in the previous years, and the part of the chapter that is not relevant to your study. This is how you can utilize the literary contributions to their utmost importance. Now, all you have to do is like finally is plan a strategy. You have to set daily targets and follow them strictly. Daily target setting is really important. Now, you should know that how much syllabus you have to complete in a day, and if somehow you are left out with that portion of the syllabus, you try to cover that on the next day, so that the timetable that you have prepared is continuously dealt with in a requisite amount of time, and you have enough amount of time for practicing the question papers. So these were few insights which would help you to crack net in forensic sciences. And since forensic science is a really emerging field, and you should not think that the number of students that are appearing for this exam is less. The number is increasing every year and with every attempt, because those who have not qualified in the previous exam are also there, and they have a different level of preparation or their understanding of question papers. So going through the question paper or preparing such a preparation pattern that you can qualify in the initial attempt is most important. So with this, I conclude my lecture, and if there is any question, you can ask.
Yes, thank you, Akansha ma'am. And there are some questions also, so that we
Yes.
can take and you can see in the chat box. Like I think Christine and the Pooja has asked something.
Yeah.
Are you able to see the chat?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, okay.
First, with the question of Christensen,
Hmm.
do we need to study only basic of all units for paper one and not in detail about every topic? Uh, this is like a basic question. when we are dealing with paper one, it has its own contents. Like there is a comprehensive technique, there is a comprehension part, there is a teaching and research aptitude, and each of the unit that is in paper one or in paper two, they are covered in the question papers. You may get even a single question is there, but every unit is covered in the question papers. So along with the basics, some units has to be dealt in detail. Like if we talk about paper one, the teaching aptitude and research aptitude makes the major portion. There's always two to three questions or even more than that from these two units as well. And dealing with, there is a comprehension part also, and it is a major scorer because there is always 5 to 6 questions from comprehension as well. So once you have done this comprehension part really well, you can score well in the entire syllabus. Now there's also general awareness questions also, and there could be like 4 to 5 questions from general awareness alone, and other topics as well. There is an environmental question, and paper one is a very wide field of study, so it includes all the things paper one has to be prepared in detail as well as paper two. So this was all for this question of for Kristen. Next question is from Pooja. Suggest a way to get the proper notes for reference. Now, study material and reference material has to be prepared in accordance. There are no such reference material available as per my information. So whatever is there, if we consider the coaching that we are going to start, this online net coaching, so we'll be providing you with this adequate reference material or the study material that would suffice with the requirements. And right source of study material is, as I've already told, that has to be the standard books. There are number of books available for each subjects, and accordingly, like Saphir is the most essential requirement for every forensic student. When you are preparing for net, Saphir is best for the revision work when you have done with all of the preparation, because it contains all the points that are like that covers the summary of the entire subjects in few specific lines, so you can refer to that uh, book in at the last of your preparation. And like other textbooks that has to be covered, it has to be dealt with, differs from person to person. Like for me, when I'm talking about toxicology, for me that Reddy is the most uh, like the best book for toxicology and forensic medicine. But for some, this book could be like the most difficult because it is a medical sciences book. So yeah, next question is self study enough to crack the examination, or do we need proper guidance? Now, this is a really elusive question because self study would be important for those who have done like years of preparation. But once you are in the initial attempts or initial stages of your appearing for examination, you need a proper guidance onto it, like how you have to proceed on and what you have to read through, because while analyzing the subject alone, you are not aware of what you have to go through and what you have to left out. So I guess and attempting the question paper or qualifying this exam and initial attempt would be more better than wasting up 2 to 3 years of your study on this. So I guess you need a proper guidance on it. I think I have done with all the questions. Is there any other questions?
Any other questions you can ask? I think there is no other question, Akansha ma'am. So
Yeah,
we'll.
okay, so
I'll just brief about the coaching part, and then we'll bind up. Right. So this is This is our coaching that, and I'll just tell you about these things that we are starting from 17th of October, and we have offered some discount also for on the like total fee, and there will be faculties who will teach these units. Main faculty will be Akansha ma'am only, and there will be other faculties also. And the duration is around 3 to 4 months we take to complete the syllabus. And classes will be approximately 3 days a week. And maybe when we have like exam nearby, we can increase the frequency if it requires. And timing will be in the evening because most of the students are in college, or some of them are working also. So maybe in 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. that will be the tentative timing. And one more thing that is unique to our institute that we do is like we provide recordings that you cannot download, but you suppose the class happens today, you will get the recording by tomorrow. We will upload on the site and you will access that recording as per your use. Like your coaching will be finished in 3 to 4 months, all live classes, and but recordings you can access for 6 months whenever you want, on any device, like on your phone or your laptop, whatever you want to use. And we will practice the previous year question papers. You will get the study material also, as suggested by Akansha ma'am. And we use Google Meet platform, just like today. In same way, you will access all the coaching part, all the like classes you will access here. And then this will be like you will be allotted this course, and then you can access the recorded classes here, just like in course content. Like this is the sample session that I have included. There you can access this recording that happens today, that webinar happens today. Uska recording आपको यहाँ पे मिल जाएगा. You will see the recordings here, and similarly you will be able to access all the recordings of the classes on our website. That will be included in your
So your mic has been muted by someone. Please unmute yourself.
and now you are able to hear me. I don't know till when you
Yes, sir.
have like
Yes, sir. You are audible.
हाँ कब तक आपने हमें सुना है. I don't know. I am not aware.
You were telling about the access for these recordings.
Recordings, हाँ तो the recordings can be accessed on our website, just like this. Like after joining the, but this lesson for today's webinar you can access free of cost for after. And then for after the registration, the whatever classes will happen, that will be shown here, and you can just click on that and you can watch all the recordings by topic wise. Topics will be given here, and you can access all the recordings as per your convenient time. That will be there in the coaching part, right? And fees is like for 6 months is 31,000. Then you will get the discount of 10% if you will. We will provide for few students that thing. And for any other concern, you can call us on our number, or you can directly call us to me. My number is, I'm just writing my number, 9899375790. That is the number. You can call me on this number. Okay. So if you have any other query related to this coaching, you can ask me, or related to net, how to crack net, you can ask to Akansha ma'am, or you can also write to us uh, on this email ID, right? So if you have any query, you can ask. Otherwise, we will like bind up the session. Is it okay, Akansha ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think they don't have any query. If they have, they can write to us on that. So we are binding up.
Yes.
So thank you, Akansha ma'am, for taking the session, and thank you everyone for joining us for this webinar, and hope we will be connected further. Also, we'll do some other programs, number of programs on these topics. So best of luck to everyone because examination are approaching, and hope you will do in examination. Thank you very much. We are winding up.